So you might be wondering where I am, and every morning since Tuesday morning I've woke up wondering where I am as well. Monday morning Lucas and myself got on a plane to England, and I'm over at my mum's for a week with a list of jobs, quite literally. So I was just looking at a pigeon. You may be able to see the clothesline out there, and the first thing my mum said was, "You haven't had the clothesline in that, have you?" So that's distressing her. You'll meet my mum in a bit. My sister and myself put up the Christmas lights. My mum loves her outdoor Christmas lights. It's probably where I get it from. Also Storm, was it Bert? I don't know, Storm Bert or something begin with a B, which they had at the weekend. Took a couple of fence panels down. So I've been putting a few fence panels up. Now Dawn's still in Ireland. Frozen pipes this morning, frozen pipes yesterday morning. The hot water heater wasn't working again. She's lighting the log stoves. She's getting the hot water running and the frozen pipes. So that'll be a right pain for her each morning. And it is cold. I think this morning she said it was about 12 degrees all over the house, so it is chilly, but those stoves are making a huge difference. But yeah, this week, this is where I am. Didn't want to not do a video because, as I said before, this is our life. This is what we do. This is what goes on. So we've got a few more lights to put up today. This green Christmas tree, yeah, and I'll show you those later on. It's a chilly one. It is a chilly one.
Go on then. It's a bit chilly. You chilly on your feet? Hello. Would you like a pick up? Hey. Oh no, it's chilly. this one. You can probably see over there where this building is. Someone said about tying through the window to hold the tarp on. That was after I think we'd already done it anyway, but I think maybe the next day or the following day it blew off. And I have replied to the person who said tie it through the window, because we now have it tied through the window and it's been on there a week now. So thank you very much, because that's actually kept it on there. And it has been, I think it was quite windy yesterday. I had a quick walk down the land and it was really frosty. But I've just come out here because I'm going to shut the door and I've just put the pump on. I've just put the pump on to, let me take it off. Ben's probably explained this multiple times. We collect water in this one because the farmer very, very kindly let us borrow his downpipe, or use. So we collect it in this one, and then it comes all the way along here to a pump around here that then feeds into there. But we have a little pump, so I've had to come out here. I think we're near enough full again, because otherwise I'll forget. The other day I opened the galv tank to fill over here and completely forgot about it. Luckily we've had rain yesterday and today, so we've been able to refill it. Oh, Ben does it all of the time and I'm normally really good. I stick on a reminder on the Alexa, she can't hear me out here so I can say her name, to let us know to turn it off. So I've come out so I don't forget to turn this off, because I forgot to put the time. Yeah, it's a lot blowier today, but the temperature was raised. Oh, it must be 10 degrees. It's so much warmer because it has been very chilly. Ben said about the pipes freezing, and they've frozen. The one that went to the toilet froze, and it was, oh, I don't know what time, maybe 1 in the afternoon before I could get the toilet back up and running. But we seem to be alright now. I've had hot water this morning, which is the first time getting up in the morning for about 4 days. So that's nice. We're all back to normal again. But we do need to insulate all these pipes. You can hear the dog. He's around. But I haven't really done much whilst Ben's been in England. Plan was to have some quicklime delivered and some lime putty, mature lime putty, to do some of the repairs to the walls that needed doing. But I left it a little bit too late ordering it, and then they also didn't have their delivery arrive, so I was hoping that would be in Monday or Tuesday, and it's not here yet, and it's Friday now and it's still not here. I'm hoping it comes today. But whilst I was waiting for that to come, I was going to go and do the strimming, do the mowing, and then it went really freezing and it was frosty, so I haven't done that either. I've done the usual, just looking after the house really, the normal stuff. Fires, keeping the fires going because it has been ever so cold, but they are all working really, really well. But I wondered if today you might like to watch me make some wax melts. I haven't made any for a long time, partly because they give Lucas headaches, the little bird up there, little wagtail, the fragrances, because they're ever so strong. So I stopped making them for a long time, and then obviously we moved to Ireland and we've been doing this, so I haven't had a chance to do any of the things that I used to do. But I thought today I might have a go at making some wax melts, so you'll have to bear with me because it's been a long time since I made them. So it's just trying to remember the order and the temperatures and everything, but we will see how it goes. And just by way of a change of late, there's a fire.
So as I'm doing this, you may notice I'm in a orange or burnt orange jacket. Now, a lot of years ago, my mum said, oh, for Christmas I'll get you a coat, and I saw one for me as well, but it's orange. I don't know if I like it. Which one do you want? I said, I'll have the black one, please, Mum. Well, come over this time, and obviously it's cold. It's always cold when we do the lights. And Mum said, there's an orange jacket you didn't want. So anyway, took it out the loft and brought it down. I put it on, standing in front of the mirror, and there was my dad looking back at me. So I thought, yeah, I think that one quite suits me. So I'm quite taken with the orange jacket now. Don't know if I'll have enough room to get it back home, so it may stay here in the loft. But yeah, it was just funny. Dad always had a bright red coat, and it just suited him. So yeah, quite taken with this one. So that's the rest of the lights up. It's dark outside. I just love sitting in this conservatory. Mum's always got it warm. The whole house is tropical, to be honest. It's just cosy. It's a nice feeling. I tend to gravitate to the conservatory more than I do the living room. I think just because it looks out onto the garden. Right, let's have a look at these lights. So it's not quite the American style cover your house, and which I love. I have to say, the films in America where the people get to cover their houses with reindeer and they have Christmas trees out on the lawns and everything, I really love those. So any of our viewers who do that, please do send us some photos on Facebook. Now, my mum did ask me to say she wasn't sure about doing lights this year because of Dad going, but he did love his Christmas lights, and it would have been a shame and very empty not to have had them at Christmas. So, but she did want me just to let you know. So this is the back garden, and this is her front garden. She's happy with it. It is worth the several hours being out in the cold to get it done. But really pleased with this year. Really pleased.
Right, wax melts. Some of you might know this as a soup kettle, I think. I started out doing it with the jug and the saucepan, and then where I was making so many, I did a bit of research and lots of people use one of these. So I bought one of these second hand off of eBay years ago now, but that's what I use now. Right, this is all the wax I've got. I was going to do this yesterday. It is now the next day, and as things go, I couldn't find, because everything's been packed, I couldn't find everything. So it took me that long, and then I was helping Ben upload files for editing because he's obviously in Worcester at the moment. So all of that goes in there. I didn't explain what these are, because if you do know what a soup kettle is, you know exactly how they work. But if you don't, it's the same principle as the jug in a saucepan of water. In the bottom of this, that is the tin it all sits in, but in the bottom of there you put some water that then heats up around the inner part, and that's how it melts the wax. I've never used this for soup, obviously never intend on using it for soup, so there's no cross-contamination. But I thought I haven't even explained how it works, but that's how it works. It has a tiny little bit of water within this big wall, and this is starting to heat up now, and then that will melt the wax down. So there you go, that's how it works, just in case you didn't know. 800 grams, I think. Right, and then turn this on. I'm going to have it up at 12 to start, and then once it starts to melt I drop it back down to 7, which seems to keep it at the right temperature. And the ladle. And then we'll just leave that until it's melted, and then I'll come back and I'll show you all the other bits that I do. I have one of these for the temperature. Needs to be roughly about 85 degrees before, don't want it to go much higher than that. So while that is melting nicely over there, I thought I'd give you a show of what else I've got. These are the fragrance oils that I've picked out to use. I haven't quite figured out how many I'm going to do of each. That's my absolute favourite. That's a vanilla, patchouli and sandalwood. You can tell that's my favourite, that's the one I've used the most. But I've got all of these, lots and lots of little ones, just to see whether I liked the fragrances or not. So that's why I have so many tiny little bottles. So I'm going to do 1 or 2 of each of these different scents, because I have also promised one of the neighbours, not long after we moved in, I don't know, we were talking and I said I make wax melts. She went, oh, I love those. I said, well, I've got a few somewhere. So I unpacked some boxes and found just a few old ones that were out of their tubs that I'd kept back. So she's had those, and I said, I've always promised her that when I actually did get round to digging everything out and making some more, I would do some for her. So I'll put some aside for her as well. Yeah, anyway, let me turn you around and I'll show you what else I have. Right, these little pots for measuring out the fragrance oil. That's a shot glass. It seemed to work very well. Set of scales for measuring, the candle wax once it's melted, and the fragrance oil as well, because you weigh the fragrance oil as grams rather than mil, because that's how you do the wax as well. And then we have some of these, I can't think what they're called, clamshells maybe, I'm not sure. I've got 13, I should be able to get 13 out of the wax that I've got. But that's all the bits and pieces. A spoon, a long handled spoon for stirring in the fragrance, but I'll explain as I go along. I would normally have a fair bit more wax than this. I think the last one I had was a 5 kilo bag and put it all in here. But this is all that I've got left from when I was making them a while back. So we'll make do with what we've got, and then I'll buy some more to make more as I go along. Right, that has almost melted away. There's so little in there. I'm so used to having a lot more wax than this. I probably should have done it in the jug. Never mind. But seeing as that's almost done, I'm going to drop that temperature down. Yeah, it's getting there nicely. We don't really speak a lot about things that we plan in for the future and bits and pieces. I'm not sure why. I don't know if we wonder if you might be interested or not. But this is one of the things I have planned that we might do to bring in some income, is make some wax melts and sell them online. Not got anything set up at the moment. I've only ever done it as a hobby, and I started doing it because I was buying a lot, and they're quite expensive when you go through so many a week, because I love nice smells in the house. So I started making my own because it was just easier, and I then could make them whenever I ran out. So I started making them myself. But that is something that's in the future, to make these, to sell these online, craft fairs, wherever. Lucas is really arty and crafty, so lots of things that we have plans on doing in the future are going to centre around arts and crafts types of things. But that's why it's so important to get that big, I don't know if you can see it, let me get behind the camera. No, you can't, the lights. But the big outbuilding is there, through the window there. That's the one I'm repaired the gable end on. So that's why it's important to get that sorted, because we do have lots of plans. There's lots of things I'd like to do. There's lots of things Ben wants to do, Lucas wants to do, and we need that because we don't really have a kitchen properly at the moment. We will have a kitchen, but this is our kitchen, and it's great, but to spread out all of this is quite difficult. But yeah, so that's the plan in time to make these and sell them online. I always write out my labels before I pour, because I don't put any colour in them. So by the time I've poured all sorts of different ones, I then can't remember which is which. So I write my labels out beforehand, stick them on the clamshell so I know exactly what I've got at the end of it. Some of them you can really tell because the colour of the fragrance oil is a little bit deeper, so you can tell which ones are which. But yeah, I find it just easier. Obviously when we get to sell them properly, they won't be little handwritten sticky labels. I'll have them sorted properly. Right, here we go. That's that one. Now I just need to hope that the cats don't come in and jump in them. Right, the wax is up to temperature. So I'll measure out the first lot of fragrance. You can put, or they recommend, up to 10% of fragrance oil to the volume of the wax. So I'm just measuring out. This is 10% is the strength. So you shouldn't really go more than 10%. I think some you can, depending on the wax. But I'll go for 10%. It gives you a maximum scent. So that's for the first one. Let's do the second one as well. This one's a really subtle fragrance, so this really does need 10. I probably could have done with less than 10 on the others. That's that one. And then we may as well do this one whilst we're here. I'm using soy wax, or soy wax. I'll have to look at that, I can't remember. Soy wax. I have used paraffin. Paraffin seems to give a better, what they call a throw, a hot throw, when it's heated up, when the wax melt's heated up, the amount of scent that it lets out. So paraffin seems to be a little bit stronger than that, but not many people like paraffin because it's harmful. It could be harmful, carcinogenic when it's heated up into the air. So I have soy that I've got to use up anyway, so I'm just going to use soy for this lot. Right, just turn it off. The wax is up to temperature, so we'll go back over there. It's a bit awkward doing it from one. Normally I would have it all in one place, but doing it over two areas makes it a little bit awkward. Right, bring the scales over here. The temperature is pretty decent now to come out. I heat this back up. I heat the jug up a little bit just to get some heat in the glass, because as soon as you put this, especially when it's small quantities, as soon as it goes into a glass jug, it just cools so quickly that you don't end up with enough time to mix the fragrance oil in. I'm just checking that you can see me, and I haven't chopped off the top of my head. So, and I have this going as well, so that if it does start to cool down too much once the fragrance goes in, because obviously the fragrance is cool, I can then just chuck it in there to get it back up to the temperature again. I'm just going to grab a tea towel. It's got a good bit of heat in it now. So stick that on there, turn that off. Turn that. Right. Right, that's about right for that going in. This seems to take forever to do this. So Ben can whiz this bit. Alright, I'm going to take this back over to the heat because the temperature's dropped quite a lot. So if it drops a little before you've fully got this mixed, because it has to be at the right temperature for the fragrance oil to be mixed into it. So it's just to keep it back up to that heat again. Right, and that's ready to pour. There we go. I won't bore you with showing you all of them, but that's how I make wax melts. So there you go. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. The lime didn't arrive. It's Saturday now and it still hasn't come, so I'm hoping Monday, and then we can be back to more renovation type stuff other than this kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. Right, so there we go, all of them finished. This was the last one I poured, so that one's still quite soft, and so are those two as well. But that's them all done. Even with handwritten stickers, they still look nice. Sometimes prone to frosting on soy, but these are looking alright. There you go. Thought I'd just give you a quick update of what they look like once they're all finished.
the spirit whose coming was foretold to me. I am. Who and what are you? I am the ghost of Christmas past. Long
It doesn't take a genius to guess what film we're watching. It is a little bit early, and Mom did say that it's out of sequence because she normally watches It's a Wonderful Life, did you say?
Yes. It's got to be the first film, It's a Wonderful Life.
I know.
Christmas Carol seconds.
This is my mum. This is Margaret. You've heard about Margaret, and here she is. Now, I did. Earlier on in the video, you would have saw me in the conservatory, and I cut to me, well, laughing really. And I said, let's have a look at the lights.
Yeah, and he sneaked up on me.
I'd sat out there and she'd fallen asleep. And her little legs are up and she's got her little blanket on. And she's like that.
That was a little old woman.
And I sat in there and I said, she said I could put her on YouTube. Not sure she meant when she was asleep. And I showed it and she went, you can't put that on there. You can't put that on there.
Well,
so this is my mum.
It was just wrong, that.
That was funny. But we've got lots done this week, haven't we?
We have, yes.
The fence panel, I didn't show you the fence panels. It was nothing exciting. It was just 2 lap panels. One was completely destroyed. The other one wasn't too good. So I put a new fence post in and a couple of fence panels. So that's sorted. Christmas lights are up.
Christmas lights.
But I've got my sister also to thank. It wasn't just me doing the Christmas lights outside. It was my sister as well. We've been up and down. Well, I've been up and down the loft.
Yes. We've done lots of sorting.
Yeah, bits down, bits up. Christmas trees up. That's yet to be decorated.
Television sorted out.
Yeah, we've done all sorts. Dawn has been busy and she has had a rough week, lover. As I mentioned, as she mentioned, she had frozen pipes and no hot water at the start of the day and everything else. She had a rough couple of days, so it will be nice to get back. And now it's mild, the pipes won't be frozen. I didn't have a problem here. Central heating's on, it's lovely.
We've missed her here.
Yeah, it is odd, Dawn being there and me being here.
But it's been nice.
Yeah. By the time you see this, I'll already be back in Ireland with Dawn. Our decorations will go up on the 4th. Lucas already did his because he wasn't going to be there for the 1st, so he's already put his tree up in his room.
And he's in Kent at the moment.
Yeah, he went to see Dawn's family down in Kent as well. And that's it. It's a real different video. As I said earlier, we didn't not want to do one because this is what we've done this week. We've got a new channel member, Evelyn. Thank you very much, Evelyn. And we haven't done a secret wave for so long. Do a secret wave.
And I'll do a secret wave. Instead of Dawn.
Yeah, do a secret wave. And when I get home, the house is going to smell of patchouli and whatever smells Dawn's got going.
And next week you'll be back to Dawn instead of Margaret.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching if you've got to this far. It's not been a week of renovations or walls or plastering or anything like that.
Well, thank you for visiting.
It's just been a week, yeah. My mum's house. And we'll see you next Sunday. You got a wave?
Oh, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.